What's up guys, I am Matt, back with another video. Today we're going to check out a new tank from Freemax. This is the Starre Pure. All right, this is the Starre Pure sub-ohm tank made by Freemax. It's the newest tank in their Starre line, I believe. It's S-T-A-R-R-E. I've always said Starre. I think that's how you pronounce it, but not certain. What this is a 25 millimeter tank, holds 4 mLs of liquid. It is top fill, and it also has airflow that comes in through the top side, but the airflow does still travel down and then end up going up underneath through the center of your coil. Kind of an interesting design on this one. We'll see more in the up close. Also, another interesting thing about it is that the coil heads, the outer barrel, I guess you would say, of the coil head is made of ceramic instead of stainless steel or whatever else they usually use on those, like chrome plated brass or something like that. And so that's another interesting twist that we will also see in the up close. So right now I have this thing on the RX2-3. It's reading 0.28. I have it at 70 watts. Here we go. Yeah, I do like this tank quite a bit. The flavor is definitely above average for a tank like this. It does come with 2 different coil heads, a 0.25 and a 0.5, both Canthal. So what we'll go ahead and do now is dive down to the table and take a closer look at it. All right, guys, here is the Starre Pure. Now inside you are going to have your tank. It's going to come pre-installed with a 0.25 ohm coil head, a second coil head, and this one is 0.5 ohms. And then underneath all that, you do have a spare glass, some O-rings, and a user manual. Okay, so let's have a look at the tank here. This does hold 4 mLs of liquid. On the bottom there, you do have a non-adjustable silver-plated 510 pin. Wouldn't use this on any hybrid top cap mech mods. On the top, it does come with this drip tip. It looks to be insulated on the inside. You are kind of limited with some tips you use because they might hang over that a little bit. This top cap does unscrew like this. And it is top fill, so you fill it right down inside there. To get to your coil, this base does unscrew. There's your coil head. We'll go through that a little bit more in a second. And if you see right there, that slot right there is air. It's connected to these air slots right here. So air does come in through the top, goes down the outside, down the chimney, comes out through there, and then hits down inside there. If you can see, there's different slots. And so air comes back up through the center of the coil head. So you're still getting air coming up through the center of the coil head, but it's going down the sides, then underneath, and then up. This tank section does come apart like so. So there you can see that's where your air is coming in at, and then travels down the outer chamber there and through those slots, like I said. So now with these coil heads, they do just unscrew like normal coil heads. There's what that bad boy looks like. It's got a ceramic outer layer right here. The idea with that is heat and flavor, they say. You know, ceramic's been used by a lot of people in a lot of different applications in vaping. People say it gives a cleaner flavor if it comes in contact with your cotton, or, you know, some people are using it for wicking. This isn't wicking. This is just, you know, an outer layer, and then you got Japanese cotton on the inside there. It's really hard to tell, you know, how much of a difference it makes unless you had a coil head that had, you know, a metal outer layer and this to compare them to. But I will say that the tank doesn't seem to heat up very badly, even if you're chain vaping. And these coil heads do give very, very nice flavor, and they seem to last quite a while. Now inside there, if you can see that, they are just a standard parallel coil wrapped. So yeah, pretty simple. It's got a nice wide diameter coil too, so you actually do get a good amount of airflow, more than you would even think looking at the way the air travels down. So to set this guy up, you would obviously just screw your coil head in, prime your wick up, and screw this bad boy into the tank. And there is no juice flow control or anything. It doesn't leak. You know, it will get a little bit gurgly sometimes when you fill it, but it doesn't leak because of the way this airflow is designed. You just fill it down one of the slots, really simple. And you just screw that top cap in, and then you can adjust your airflow. There are slots on both sides, 1 and 2. Nice resistance on that. It's not going to move on its own, but it's easy enough to move. Well, I think that's it for the up close. Let's go ahead, go back up top, vape it, and talk about it a little more. All right, so here I have the stainless steel version. I was using the black version earlier. It is reading at 0.3, 70 watts. Let's vape it. Really, really dig the flavor. I'm using Mosa e-liquid. I love this stuff. And the flavor's very, very nice on this. It's, if I had to put a number on things, I would say it's in like the 90 percentile of sub-ohm tanks. So I was really, really impressed with this. Now the coil heads do say on them that they're rated from 20 to 70 watts. I use this thing even up to like 80 watts. I think it'd even do more than that and you'd be okay. But I found that like that 70 watt range was my sweet spot on this. As far as airflow, you do get a rather wide open draw. It is a little bit different of a draw and it's so hard to explain, but because that airflow travels in through the top, then has a ways to go down the side and then goes up the middle of your coil, it's got just a little bit different of a draw, but I do like it and it's pretty silent. It's a smooth type draw. It feels very smooth. Looks wise, it's okay. I'm not crazy about 25 millimeter tanks, but I do like it with this setup with the rouleau. It's not hideous looking or anything. It's kind of a con where this part just pops out where you put your drip tip, because then if you have a wider drip tip, it will hang over. Besides that, filling it's easy. Airflow ring is easy. Changing out your coils are easy. It's an easy tank to use for sure. Only con really that I found with it is that even though it doesn't leak very easily, obviously, because your airflow comes in through the top, because it doesn't have juice flow control, after you fill it, it will get a little bit gurgly. And so it's not a huge deal. You can vape through it, but there was a time like when I was vaping laying down and I was going like this, and some liquid did end up getting in my mouth. Not a ton, but it's a con. It does get a little gurgly, but usually 3, 4, 5 vapes and it's fine and it's gone. But the pros definitely outweigh the cons with this one, and I'm rather impressed with it. I think it's worth picking up. I've seen it for like between $20 and $23, so it's not very expensive at all. It does seem to go through liquid pretty fast, but that's to be expected with a tank you're using at a higher wattage. I've been using it at 70 watts. It doesn't get hot very easily. Drip tip's got a nice insulator in it. It's got that ceramic outer layer on the coil head. I'm figuring that keeps it from getting too warm as well. And so all in all, I've had a really, really nice experience with this, and it's one that I can definitely recommend if the higher wattage sub-ohm tanks that have a nice big draw on it are something that you're into. The coil heads do seem to last quite a long time as well. I'm still on my first coil head on this block one, which I've been using for 11, 12 days now. So that's something that I'm going to do an update on. I want to talk more about some of these different ceramic products out there at some point. I'm going to do a video on them, kind of give you guys an update on how the coil heads are holding up for me and things like that. So I think that's about it. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description. Don't forget to check out our new channel, Matt and V. I will put a link in the description for that as well, and there should be something up here that you can click also. That about wraps it up, guys. Until next time, thanks for watching. Suck my mod.